Chris, just what did you see from your guys collectively tonight to dominate the way that they did on both ends?
We've had some really, really good defensive efforts this year, but that has to be right up there with the best of them. On the ball, off the ball, the physicality, execution of the game plan, just, doing it over and over and over and over again requires like a physical and a mental toughness. They had that. I thought just really locked in on defense. So.
I think Rudy's absence did that even heighten everyone's awareness and focus, or what? How do you explain it without the best player on your floor defensively?
Well, listen, Rudy's driven a defensive culture here, and I think it's a testament to to his impact, his presence, and what he's infused into the team on how important defense is and how great we can be when we play it. That aside, we've always we expect to win no matter who's with us and who's not. And our guys truly believe that. And, we're very, 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 very happy for Rudy, extremely happy for him. And guys feel that way, but they're ready to go. It's just tweak a few things to the game plan and kind of just went at it.
Chris, you touched on it just a second ago, but what does it say about this team, the way they defended? Even when they're up 20, they're defending like it's a tie ball game. But just what does that say about the effort and dedication of this team?
Yeah, that's what we keep harping on. It's been our identity all year. Little bit like smell blood in the water at times. Things kind of accelerate. They tried to counter with extreme physicality on their drives. We were able to take that contact, stand them up. Fouled them a little bit too much in the second half, but other than that, I thought we fought them, and that's what our guys do. And it's like anything else. When you see everybody else doing it, you got to do it to the level that everyone else is doing it. So.
Chris, Carl seemed really decisive offensively from the jump. I'm curious your thoughts on that, and then also kind of Ant's willingness and ability to let Carl go and then take his spots. After that.
Yeah, Cat came out offensively, set the tone, and everything was quick, clean. Thought he played a really super clean game. Ant got off to a little bit of a slower start, but I thought the two of them had one of their better rhythm games in sync with each other than all season long, and even kind of really playing off each other at times in the first half. So.
Ant seemed to pick his spots. Chris, especially there was a sequence in the first half. There's a coast-to-coast layup in transition, and then pulls the rip and scores at the bucket. He'd kind of done everything for you guys offensively the last 3 games, set a franchise record. Just what do you think about, you said rhythm game, but what do you think about how he executed offensively?
I thought he did a great job. I thought, again, he finished pretty efficient, very efficient line, 11 for 17. And, we expected more traffic around him tonight. And I think he was kind of feeling that out early to see how much it was going to be. We knew the early attacks would always be there because before they could get set heavy in the gaps, he did a great job of kind of exploiting those. And then I thought as the game went on and they started flipping matchups and flipping coverages, he really did a good job of just finding his teammates. We went through a period, I think we were super tired. We didn't really score very much, but I thought we made a lot of really good plays in that period. And Ant was at the front of that. So,
he's gaining basketball fans by the game. Did you catch the shrug that he had when he had the 3 in the fourth quarter? People are saying it reminded them of Michael Jordan gets the plays.
No, I didn't catch that. So,
Switching defenses obviously had given you guys some problems in the past. They're not switching everything, but it does seem like, whenever Ant gets a switch or Carl gets a switch, they're being really assertive and turning that into an advantage. What do you think has caused that to where maybe they're just being more aggressive and smart about how to attack those types of things?
Yeah, we worked a lot on switching coming into the Phoenix series because we knew we'd see a bunch of it. Both individually and as a team. So hopefully we formed some good habits that are still carrying over. it's about being super decisive when you have opportunity. I think anytime we get a chance or get stuck holding, we get in trouble there. Our cutting and our movement has been better off the ball to open up avenues to attack these switches when they are there. Just everything has been better with our speed, So.
Nas has improved dramatically this season on defense, but a lot of that has been like from the mid-range out to the perimeter. His defense in the paint tonight, particularly on Jokic, was a dramatic step up, it seemed.
Yeah, I thought it's been fun to watch him grow in that regard. I remember a game last year, when we played here, and we didn't have Cat. We put him on, and he's kind of afraid to touch him a little bit, and Jokic had a big night, but just using his physicality, using his quickness, using his hands, just whatever he has to do to try to unsettle him, which is all you really can do. Until we can bring enough help. But yeah, its activity defensively on him has been outstanding.
You mentioned Rudy kind of instilling a culture of defense here. I'm wondering, on a night like tonight, is this emblematic of the kind of culture you just wanted to instill on this team since you got here, and maybe even since last year? The toughness, the defense, and not making excuses when a key player isn't here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for sure. Like, it's always been, just got to compete it, had to learn how to compete, and then you got to learn how to always compete, and you got to learn how to compete at the high levels. And when you do that, you're always going to give yourself a chance to win no matter who's available on your roster. And the goal has always been to put out a team that people like to cheer for. And that doesn't happen unless you play hard, and it usually doesn't happen unless you play defense and you share the ball. And we're doing all those things right now. So.
Hey, Chris, I don't know if you were aware, but when you guys were starting to pull away there in the second quarter, Jamal Murray was frustrated on the bench, and he threw a heat pack onto the court.
Yeah.
Kentavious picked it up and tossed it off, and obviously there wasn't a technical call foul. But I'm wondering if you were aware of it and what you think of a player doing that.
Well, I didn't actually see it happen, but when it was explained to me, the referees didn't see it either, so they're not able to issue a technical unless they see it. We tried to impress upon them that there probably aren't many fans in the building that have a heat pack. So it probably had to come from the bench, which they found logical. But, yeah, it's inexcusable and dangerous. And, I'm sure it was just a mistake and an oversight. I'm sure there was nothing intentional by the officiating at all, but certainly can't allow that to happen. So.
Chris, speaking of heat packs, when the team plays well like this, is that the best form of painkiller you can get right now?
Yeah, there's a lot of adrenaline surging through my body right now, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. But yeah, they've been great. Everybody's been great. So.
Chris, Nikhil said that he didn't feel like he had the best performance in Game 1. What did you think of his performance tonight?
Well, both he and Nas were outstanding off the bench. I thought Nikhil was great. I mean, both ends of the floor. He made big shots. He came in, up the intensity on defense if that was possible. He did that. Stayed in the flow of the game. Kept his head about him when things were, a little chippy. And I thought he played great in Game 1. I really did, And Jaden McDaniels is playing great. He hasn't connected in the scoring column, but my God, he's at plus 26. The other day, he's a plus 23. He didn't have a bucket. He's got 5 points in the series, and he's a plus 50. It's not about how you score. It's about how you help your team win, and those guys are great examples of that.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
Michael, you guys trailed by as many as 32 tonight.
We did?
Yes. Did you feel like this game got away from the players mentally, and at what point did it get away?
I don't know. I mean, they kicked our ass. So, yeah, it got away from us.
Coach, this team is well known by its ability to come back from 3-1 hole several times. Mm-hmm. So how optimistic are you to come back from this 2-0 hole?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. The body language of our guys, is not where I think it needs to be. But we just got beat up in our building. We got embarrassed in front of our fans. The good thing is we don't play till Friday. We have a chance to kind of get away and think about what we want to do moving forward. And I'm not worried about anything other than trying to win Game 3, and really just trying to win the first quarter of Game 3 and build it from there, take it one quarter at a time. I think it was a 4-point game late in that first. They closed 4-0. Now we're down 8, and then they started off the second quarter 11-0. And that's when the game got away from us. Their physicality, our ability to get into our offense, get a shot off. We played into our offense, get a shot off. We played in late clock situations all night long. So yes, you have to give credit to them, but we didn't own our spots, and we didn't meet their aggression and physicality at the level that we needed to. So I'll have a much better idea on that question, come Wednesday when we get back in the gym and get a feel for our players and where their energy is at. And my hope is that, we're down 2-0, not ideal, but it's a long series, first run to 4. Can we find a way to believe in each other, believe in ourselves, and win Game 3? That's all that matters.
Coach, knowing that wasn't typical Nugget basketball, what was sort of the feeling when you guys gathered in the locker room?
It's it's a very, very quiet locker room, and you can take that many different ways. I'm taking it as our guys are disappointed in our performance tonight, all the way across the board. From myself all the way down to player number 18. We got out-coached, we got outplayed. And you can feel sorry for yourself, or you can do whatever you can to try to be better come Game 3. And that's my focus, is rallying these guys to continue to fight. No one said it was going to be easy, and right now we understand that.
Coach, obviously in a situation like this, the team often looks to its leaders. Where are Jamal and Nikola at right now? They're both struggling, obviously, on the court.
They're in the locker room taking showers. That's where they are. Frustrating night, and the frustration creeped over, and I thought we lost control of our emotions a little bit tonight. And I felt that was a big play. I thought Jamal Murray took a charge, and it wasn't granted. But we have to have a little bit more poise when they're going on a run, when we're not getting calls, whatever it may be. You got to be able to handle that, read the game, react to the game. And I felt as a unit tonight, it wasn't great. We can definitely be better. As far as Jamal and Nicole, obviously, 9 years, 8 years, been through a lot, and hopefully those guys can help in terms of leading the charge and rallying the troops, and not dropping your head, keep your head held high, and at least no matter what happens, walk off the court knowing you gave you everything you had. And a loss like this is tough. You feel embarrassed, you feel exposed. So what are you going to do about it? That's my biggest thing. What are you going to do about it? Look yourself in the mirror, have the balls, have the courage to look yourself in the mirror, say, I did not do my job tonight, and be better next game. That's all I can ask of them.
Coach, you talked about losing control of emotions tonight. It appeared that Jamal at one point threw something toward the referee while he was on the bench. Any concern about him facing discipline?
I'm not even aware of that, so I really can't comment. But if that's the case, we'll have to see what happens. But I wasn't aware of that. I knew a heating pack was on the floor, but it was not in my field of vision.
Coach, you talked about their defense. We know they're a good defensive team, but you said you couldn't get to your spots. You probably have to watch the film, but can you, pinpoint maybe why you were at times making it easier for them, or a couple of, careless passes or whatever it may be?
Well, careless passes and careless dribbling, both of those. I mean, it was, again, they were into us, and we were barely getting the ball over half court at times. And then I think they were in that 11-0 run to start the second. There were a few shot clock violations. We couldn't even get a shot up. So screening better, getting guys open, starting lower on the floor to create a lead, to catch the ball in a scoring area, not playing in tight spaces. We got caught dribbling into crowds. And just look at it. They had 12 turnovers for 2 points. We had 19 for 19. And that's a huge 17-point difference right there. So Yeah, there's going to be a lot to clean up, and that's the best part about not playing till Friday is that we can take our time looking at this and figuring out a way where we can all be better.
Last one. You were upset with some of the calls. And at one point, you went out on the floor and confronted a ref. Were you trying to get a tech there or just make a point? What was going on?
D, all the above. You know, as a coach, when you ask your players to go out there and fight and to compete at a higher level than you did in game one, and you have a player go out there and do that and try to do what you're asking of them, and he's not rewarded, you know, that's very frustrating. And I think it's, you know, like that was Jamal in that case. It's up to me to fight for my guys. You know, I mean, like Jamal struggled tonight. 3 for 18 from the field. He had 13 rebounds. It wasn't necessarily for a lack of effort or care. You know, he just had a tough night. But when he's out there battling a guy like Karl Anthony Towns and trying to take a charge and what I thought was an easy call, and he's not rewarded, you know, I owe it to Jamal Murray or anybody else in that situation to voice my opinion, to voice my concern and my disagreement. And that wound up being, I think, a big play because things kind of after that did not go our way, which is unfortunate. But that's my job, kids. You know what? I'm going to fight for my guys, and I think I got to fight even more for them. You know, that team over there in Minnesota, you have to give them credit. They're a very good team, and they came in here, won 2 games, and tonight they ran us off the floor. And so I just ask our fans to stay with us. I know tonight was not a pretty sight, and you know, I know there are some boos out there, and I understand that because we didn't play anywhere close to the level that we've come to expect from this team. But stay with us, believe in us. We've done a lot of good things.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.
Justin, where did this game get away from you guys? And, you know, is this a thing where you guys kind of have to kind of meet their physicality and it becomes a little bit more than just a little bit about basketball a little bit?
I mean, I think they started off the game, you know, playing a playoff game the way you're supposed to. I think we had a better start than we have been in the past, the last series, and obviously the game before this. Where it all started, I guess sometime before that happened and when they got that lead. But as far as the physicality and stuff goes, I mean, this is playoff basketball. That's the way everyone's supposed to be playing at this time. We need to find a way to bring that into the fold. And there's things that we've done in the past. So it's not like it's pulling the bunny out of a hat. It's playoff basketball. Either you're going to show up and do that or not, and this is going to happen.
Justin, when you see a couple of your teammates struggling the way that they did tonight, like and the team struggles to get to a certain score, just what's sort of said in the locker room like that? What are some of the things that you can prop up a team like this where clearly the team is going through it?
I mean, at the end of the day, this is basketball. There's going to be times where you're going to be great, and there's times when you're not playing the best of your ability or not scoring the best of your ability. But I just think that the effort that we put into the game can still be the same. The sense of urgency, again, the aggressiveness, being able to play physical. I think those are things that we just have to focus on doing when the ball's not going in the basket. That's defending and stopping them from playing, and then just allowing our offense to do what it does. You know, with guys struggling, we still have a powerful offense. We have a lot of guys that can do a lot of things, and obviously having Jokic and Jamal, the things are going to click and work out eventually. So it's to not change, you know, what you do. Continue to be aggressive. Continue to be aggressive to score. You know, in Jokic's case, to score, find guys, do what he does, and let everything fall where it may. But if we have to have the effort, the energy going towards this game the right way, and I think that would kind of help us with the lows and things we might struggle with as far as scoring and not shooting well.
Justin, how much of your offensive struggles were that they're a really good defensive team, and how much did you guys maybe make it easier for them at times with, you know, passing or dribbling or not getting shots up?
I mean, again, this is playoff basketball, so we need to start playing like it. They came out and played the way they were supposed to, being aggressive, getting into us. Again, though, it's nothing that we haven't seen before. So I think it's a lot on us don't want to take anything away from them as well. They played a great game. They're doing what they're supposed to do, but we're the reigning champs. I'm not saying that we're supposed to win because we are, but they've won the championship before, so we know what it takes to do that. We have to implement that now, right now. I mean, we have no time left really to figure it out. So I think obviously they did a great job with how they came and played, but that's playoff basketball, and we need to take care of our end of the bargain and bring it.
All right, thank you, Justin.
Yep, you have a good one.
After the last loss, you said that losses don't motivate you. I'm just curious what does motivate you at this stage in your career as a competitor?
That's a good question, my friend. Maybe winning. Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Nicole, obviously, this one, pretty big struggle for the team to score for the most part. Just where do you think the breakdown started for the team, and then like just kind of getting into the flow of the offense, and whether it was the first quarter or later?
I mean, it is the whole series. I think they are. I mean, if you guys watch the previous series against the Suns, they're doing the same thing. They're really into the body. They play really good defense. They're playing the really good defense the whole season. That's why they're number one defense. They're aggressive. They're pushing of the spot. All five is aggressive. They know what they're doing, and that's why probably it's hard to score.
Nikola, teams have come back from down 2-0 before. I guess where is your confidence that this team can regroup over the next 3 days and give Minnesota a fight at home and extend the series?
I mean, hopefully. I mean, yes, that's the goal. So hopefully we're gonna go there and put up the fight and bring the series back.
Yep. What happened in that second quarter when they started 11-0, went up 19? Was it something got away from you guys, or was it you guys not making shots, or Dan not making shots?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. Of course, they're a talented group. We didn't help ourselves. We only had 16 assists and 16 turnovers. We had 16 turnovers. We didn't share the ball the right way. Even when we, they're long, they're physical. We kind of drive into the couple bodies, and we didn't help ourselves.
Nikola, when in the second quarter, when you guys were kind of losing control of your emotions, how do you get these emotions back and the frustration back in check? I mean, it just seemed like Jamal was in control of his emotions and stuff like that. How do you get that back in check?
I mean, you need to ask him that. I didn't lose. I think I didn't lose my emotions, whatever. So I think that's answer for him.
Nicole, how different is it on both ends of the floor when Rudy's not there? Not just what he does defensively, but what that changes their offense to.
I mean, they are playing without him. Some in the rotation, so it's not something that they surprise us. I think Kyle Anderson is a really smart player, and he knows what to do on the floor. And he had 8 assists. He had 9 rebounds. He was really affecting the game with his just high IQ guy, and he knows what to do on the floor.
Michael was in here before you and talked about how frustrating this loss was, and he several times used the word embarrassing. Did you feel that way about this game?
Yeah, I mean, of course, they came in and it was a one team on the floor after that first quarter. After the only was basically one team on the floor. They were just more aggressive. They were more physical, and yes.
Nikola, nekad možda uzimamo zdravo za gotovo, navikli smo i tvoju pobjedu i Denver Nuggetsa, pa se problemom da je sport, ne može da se uvijek pobeđuje. Kako si ti doživio ovu utakmicu?
Pa da, ovo je teška utakmica za nas. Oni su radili isto što rade cijele sezone, tako da ne mogu da kažem da smo se iznenadili, pošto rade cijele sezone to, tako da nisu radili ništa novo. ali teška utakmica za nas, nismo mogli da pronađemo lake šuteve dok su oni pronalazili lake šuteve i pogađali. Šutirali smo 3-4% iz igre, što je stvarno malo. Naravno, to je njihova odbrana i to je njihov taj neki tim kako su napravljeni, da su svi dugački, svi mogu da preuzimaju, tako da to je teška utakmica za nas. Nadamo se da ćemo da odemo u Minnesota i da vratimo seriju u Denver.
Nikola, how through 2 games, how surprised are you that the offense hasn't been able to find any level of consistency, rhythm to even put Minnesota back on their heels?
I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. You know, that they're maybe we are trying too much, like just by driving into a lot of people. Maybe like I think we can help each other just to trust the pass a little bit more. But like one part is them too. You know, they are really physical. They make you play that way. Let's say like that.
Nikola, given the frustrations, how do you expect this team to respond and show up for Game 3?
I mean, I don't know. We will see in 3 days, 4 days.
Anything else? Thank you, Nicole.
Pleasure, like always, guys.
That'll do it for us tonight.
You guys did not have Rudy, obviously, but what did it take to kind of play the sort of defense that you guys were able to without your big man in the middle there?
Team defense. We had to switch the game plan up a little bit. But big shout out to Kat and Nas. They did a great job of not making us have to double tonight. I mean, they was playing straight up and they played great defense without fouling. So they definitely helped us a lot.
You heard that. Yeah, you heard that.
Finch was saying this was one of your guys' best games of kind of playing in tandem. Carl started, got the offense going, and kind of in the second half, like picking your spots. How has that kind of grown between the two of you of like knowing when to go?
It's fun, man, knowing I got somebody alongside me that, you know, can get a bucket at any given time. If he got the hot hand, keep giving it to him. You know, we both unselfish players. We don't care who night it is, whether if it's neither one of our nights. Nas or Jaden or Nikhil or Mike, it doesn't matter, man. In the playoffs, you know, it's always a team win. And Kat did a great job of starting it off tonight because I definitely came out sluggish and slow. But, you know, eventually Kat gave me some energy and I found it.
You've kind of been Nas's vet in his time here. How have you just kind of seen him grow defensively this season and obviously in what he did tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's been special. I mean, the Sixth Man of the Year has been special all year, and he's very deserving of that award. You know, just trying to lead by example, you know, to be able to tell someone what to do or give them my insight, I got to be able to go out there and execute it as well. So just making sure I set the best example for him as possible and doing whatever it takes to help him in his growth.
Question for both of you. A lot of teams come in, they take game 1, and the idea is like, well, okay, you know, got the split, we're good to go back. And instead, you guys came out and just took this from the very start. What does that say about this team's approach to things, and what was the key to that tonight?
I mean, Finch, you do a great job of putting emphasis on it's not about who win the first game. You know, you want to win every game. I mean, so you don't want to split. You want to win 2 here and have home court advantage and then try to win 2 at home. But I do want to just shout out Jay McDaniels, man, before I get out of here. He's been phenomenal this whole playoff run and this series in particular. I think he's like a plus 51 or something, and only probably had 5 points, took 3 shots in all 2 games, and don't complain, keep guard, and keep picking up full court, and we wouldn't be the team that we are today. We wouldn't have been the team that we was in the regular season, and you know, hopefully we can keep him out there and he keeps playing like that, man, because he's definitely the X factor of the team, and everything that he brings is we thank him so much, man. So big shout out to Jaden for sure.
For sure. I got a question for both of you as well. And when you do things like you shake Reggie Jackson, you point at him, or you hit a 3 and you shrug, or you hit an 1 and you flex, what does that do for you? And then is it also like kind of dismissing that this is a stage with bigger stakes and more pressure? And then same question for Kat. What does it do for the team when Ant does those type of things?
What it do for me? It definitely gives me energy. But I feel like I've always done that, no matter what stage it's on. If it's in the regular season, the preseason, if I do something nice, I gotta let it be known. If I get an N1, I gotta flex, make somebody fall, I'm gonna point at them. So, and it brings excitement to the game. So hopefully someone tries to come back and score on me or something like that. So that's why I do it. Hell no.
Let me put it like this. When Ant's out there talking his shit, I know that we in for a good night.
And Chris was in here earlier talking about how you guys really smelled blood in the water a little bit with the way you guys were defending. What do you think this team is learning about developing a killer instinct right now?
I think we're doing a great job of just trying to just pick them up early, put pressure on everybody, pressure the ball, pressure the passer. Don't let it. Cat do a great job of just pressuring the entry pass. Don't let it be easy. Nas fronting, Cal fronting, trying to get our hands on everything, touching, pushing, being physical. I think that leads to the defensive plays that we make. And like I said, man, once again, Jaden was everywhere tonight. Steals, deflections, blocks, rebounds. He was everywhere tonight, man. So, he plays a major role in all of those defensive efforts that we have out there.
For both of you, what was your perspective when Jamal Murray threw the heating pad on the floor? Did either of you actually see it happen? And then what was your reaction just sort of upon learning that had happened?
I didn't even know it happened until the ref stopped the play and threw the heating pad off the floor. I thought it was on somebody's back or something. I didn't know it was thrown onto the court. But that's crazy.
Nah, I saw it. I just was more worried about making the layup. I ain't gonna lie to you.
For either you guys or both, a lot of people who had Finch's surgery would have just sat on the couch for a week. But what did it mean to you guys that he came and kind of probably pushed through a lot of pain to make this trip?
I mean, it definitely meant a lot because for someone like me who just came off surgery on my knee and was nowhere near as major as his, I can imagine the doctor told him not to travel and not to fly, and Finchie said, hell no, I'm going to be there for my team. So the leader of our team, when you have someone who's willing to fight like that, of course his troops are willing to fight just as hard for him.
That's a perfect answer.
Kat, years and years ago when you came into this league as the #1 pick, you were drafted not only for your offensive talent, but for your defense and the promise that everyone thought you had. Does it feel good to be getting back to that and showing your capabilities again and not, just being viewed as the stat stuffer and the big offensive player that you were?
He was never viewed as a stat stuffer or just a. No, I know that. I'm just saying he was never viewed as that. Especially when I got here, I always thought he was a great defensive player. He just had to put his mind to it. And when Finchie got here, man, Finchie put emphasis on, hey, and Cat, if we want to go somewhere, we got to defend. And like he said, that's the head of the snake. And hearing that from him, it pushed Cat, man. And I tell Cat, we need you to defend. Corliss tell Cat, we need you to defend the whole team. And, ever since he been back this whole year, man, since he been at the 4, he been defending his ass off. So he's been playing great, and we hope he continues to do it.
This is for both of you guys. What's the message to the fans in Minnesota now that you're going back 2-0 now, going home, got the crowd at Target Center? Just talk about what that means for you guys and what it means for this fan base.
I mean, for us, I think the message we want to send is that, we're extremely honored and blessed that we have this opportunity to go home up 2-0. But we're humble in this approach. We understand that we put ourselves in a great position, but as great as the position we are in, it could be very bad at the end of being on our homestand. So we just got to go out there, take care of business, do what we do, play defense at a high level, and execute even at a higher level because the defending champions, you can't give them a minute of slippage at all in the game. So we got some things to work on, things to tighten up on practice, and we got 3 days to really work on our game and work on our game plan. So to the fans, your support is super important for us to find different ways and then get that energy Friday night and Sunday. So definitely come out and support.
Guys, I'm sure that you guys expected Denver to come out and hit you hard to start the game, some emotional surge, and when that didn't happen, were you guys a little surprised that you were jumping on them as opposed to vice versa? And do you see them being confused at times? Do you see them losing confidence when
not
when
at
the
all.
lead is sort of spiraling?
No, not at all. It worked in our favor tonight, man. That's all that was. We made shots, they didn't. That's the defending champs over there, so they're not going to come out and play like that again in Game 3. We got to be ready to take their punch. And I always tell the team, like when we huddle up and Finchy say, we got to be ready to take their punch, I say, we're going to punch too. Shit, I mean, they're not the only one punching in the fight. So, I mean, yeah. Just like that. They're not the only one that's going to come out punching. I don't give a damn if we go up 3-0 for the Game 4. We're going to come out punching too. So they got to be ready to take our punch, and we'll be ready to take their punch. But, yeah, I don't see no slippage in their games. They just missed shots tonight. They'll be ready to go Game 3, and we will be.
Yes, sir.